Okay, so now we are in the final segment of our series, and hopefully save the best for last. This is the Goliath that I struggle with the most, and I really want to continue to show my vulnerable side to you guys because I think that that's the most relatable. Nobody cares about how much I've won or how often I win or anything like that. They only want to care about like, dude, I'm struggling. I can't get out of this. I need help. So it's like, yeah, I'm struggling too. Like, I never want to hear about anyone's success stories. I want to hear about the downswings. I want to hear about people sucking. I want to hear about, if you're struggling, what'd you do to get out? Then I can learn from it. Then I can get a little bit better at that. So that's what I'm gonna try to do with you guys. So we can make the argument that Goliath was headed for a downswing and didn't even know it yet. He's running his mouth. He's on tilt. He's feeling angry. He's feeling himself. He's going to destroy this guy. He said, this guy thinks I'm a dog. I'm going to eat this, he didn't say I'm going to eat this guy, but he's probably thinking I'm going to squash this little guy. Same is true for us. We talked about, we're either in a downswing, coming out of one, or heading into one. We don't know. We don't know when the adversity is going to strike. We don't know if the downswings are going to hit us. And that's life in general. Like, you're either, in a trial, headed into one, or just coming out of one. So, some of this is going to be applicable to your real life. So, you probably didn't think, again, I get all Dr. philosophical on you guys, but, there's a lot of carryover here. Basically, I try to carry over anything that works outside of life that's made me successful in other areas of my life, whether that's relationships or business or whatever, convert it to DFS. Like, encourage you guys to do the same. Like, that's what we were talking about in the first couple segments. Like, you're successful. Use that to your advantage. Like, leverage that to DFS success. So Goliath invited the downswing, being on tilt. Downswings mess with our mind, our emotions. They zap our energy. When we're winning, it feels like we're never going to lose again. And same thing happens when we're losing. It feels like we're never going to win again. And nothing more than downswing makes you feel that way. So we're going to talk about what we can learn from this story. And then I'm actually going to show you guys what I do to overcome downswings. So overcoming downswings, what did David do? He recalled past victories. That's a common theme. That's probably the number one takeaway from this story. David knew with every battle that he won came more confidence. He defeated the lion, the bear. He's going to go kick this giant's ass, and he did. When we're in a downswing, we can't see. We can only see what's in front of us. We can't see the forest through the trees. Like, this happens to me on a regular basis. Like, I might have like 3, 4 losing days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they might just be like little, small, sometimes big losses. The totality of the losses won't equal like a hot streak. Not even come close. But I've got blinders on. Like, I can't see how well I did, how good I had it. I can only see, like, that's one of my shortcomings as a player. Like, I can only see how bad I've done in this current stretch, and I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm throwing a pity party. I'm never gonna break out of it. Like, just because like I'm happy-go-lucky on Twitter and in chats and stuff and in our talks doesn't mean that I don't struggle with this. Like, I do. I just try to get a little bit better at dealing with it. And again, like, you guys should be high-fiving me for not inviting you to my pity parties. Like, if you want an invitation, just like, hit me up. Like, I'll let you know when I'm sucking and bitch and moan to you guys if that's what you really want. But I know nobody really wants that. So, when we're in a downswing, try not to get so focused on the here and now or the last couple of days, being on tilt, looking at the past. See the big picture. David saw the big picture. Everyone else saw the giant. David's like, dude, I'm going to whoop this dude's ass. I'm going to take his head. I'm going to take his money. I'm going to kick all of his friends, asses. Like, I'm playing for keeps. David knew what was going to come, but he was battle tested. Like, he had seen past victories. It didn't matter how big this giant was. Like, no matter how big these downswings we face, like, we can overcome them. But we have to attack them with a positive mindset and look at it, through the prism of the totality of our results, not just this little sliver here that's jamming us up. So, one of the things that David did when everyone was telling him how big his problem was, he started telling his problems how great his God was. Like, we can do the same. Like, I don't know where your faith is. I don't really care. But, as if you're a believer, if you believe in God, whatever, like, that's a very real thing that we can do. So with that in mind, let's take a look at, everything that we've learned about how to overcome downswings. And I'm going to show you exactly how I apply this. So when we're in a downswings, we have to recall past victories. See the big picture. This is really, really important. See the battle as an opportunity to get more confident. When you guys are in downswings and I hear about it, I will always encourage you with, like, my guy, my dude, like, you gotta just battle through. Because when most people hit downswings, they quit. So every downswing that we overcome further proves that we belong in this game, that we're gonna be one of the best. And you hear about guys all the time that dominated this game when it was easy in the beginning because they had computer software that nobody had. Where are they today? nowhere to be found. We are winning at this game when it has never been harder. Like, boom, like pat yourself on the back, like feel good about that. Don't get overconfident, but like you gotta be your own cheerleader. Like there's times where like I'm up in my head, things aren't going well, I'm listening to the negative voices, I'm listening to the enemy, I'm listening to all of this stuff that's just like eating me inside out, and it's just like boom, time out, I need to go for a walk, I need to read something encouraging, I need to put pen to paper on something, I need to get out of my own way, like I need to deal with these unhealthy emotions in a healthy way, like if if you need help, like go see a professional, like I'm in counseling, like I see a professional, I work with a professional once a month to help keep my head clear, so I fully support anybody, doing something to help their mental health. Like this is a serious game and this can get bad quickly if we don't address these things in a positive way. Like this can go from fun to addiction very, very quickly if you're not basically thinking about everything we've talked about today. Again, like I'm not a mental health professional, so don't take that as advice. I'm not a doctor. I didn't even sleep at, one of those hotels where the commercials are. But if you need that kind of help, like go get it. Like there's nothing wrong. Like I've had depression, I've had anxiety. Like I still battle with that stuff on a daily basis. Like there's a handful of people in my life that struggle with mental health. Like do not be afraid about it. So I didn't intend on talking about that, but like, I see that, and like I've able to battle my depression and my anxiety, through my faith. When I start feeling like my problems are too big, like I start telling my problems about my God and think about like how God delivered me in the past. And, I don't want to be disrespectful by, oh, God got me out of that downswing, but, sometimes he allows a downswing in my life to teach me something and I'm better for it. And like, that's how we need to look at these things instead of pity party, woe is me. Like, what can I learn from this? Like, what can I get better? Like, where can I get sharper? Where can I get more efficient? So those are some of the things that we can do to get better at this. So how do I overcome downswings? So we're going to go over every single one of these things. I keep a calendar. I've never been comfortable with like keeping a journal, like writing down my feelings and stuff like that. So what I do like doing is keeping what I call a victories journal. You got to feed yourself positivity. Like I'm constantly listening to podcasts, like listen to, like find your heroes, like listen to people that inspire you, read quotes. Like I'm constantly feeding my brain positive stuff, like liking positive quotes on Twitter. People tag me like, dude, JG, like I saw this quote and I thought of you, like, thank you, feed me, fam. Like give me more of that. Like I need that stuff. The more like I always joke around, like, my favorite meal of the day is volume. Like I love eating volume at DFS, but like it's actually like positivity. Like I don't watch the news. Like I don't, I cut negative people out of my life. Like I don't have time for that. Like there's two types of people in this world. There's fountains and there's drains. Like be a fountain, not a drain. Get rid of the drains in your life. Be the fountain. Like I'm trying to be a fountain in DFS and you guys help me and you encourage me and I battle this stuff every single day. So, we're in this together. I remind my problems of how great my God is. Like I have a faith, I'm a Christian, and I lean on, my identity in Christ all of the time. And it's like, what? I play this game. God created me to play this game. But you know what? It's not who I am. And if God decides, hey, one day, John, you know what? I'm gonna call you in a different direction. It's no longer my desire and my will for you to play this game. Like I'm gonna listen to that because I've had to learn the hard way. Like I don't know if you guys know this, but like I'm not very good at being God. So I try to let God be God, and I'll be John. And you got to be your own cheerleader. So let me walk you guys through with what I'm talking about. So I'm really big on case studies, and so this is going to be your very own JG case study. So overcoming downswings, keep a calendar. So that's my January. Like look at all the red. Like this is my actual calendar. Like look at all the red in here. Like look at how much red before we even get to the bottom half. So if you look at the top half of the first 2.5 weeks of the month, I had 4 winning days, 5 winning days, and a day off. All of that's red. So what keeping a calendar does is allows you to, get stuck in this red area and you start panning back and it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. So I love keeping a calendar. And again, like this is putting in the work. When I tell you guys I spend at least an hour a day analyzing my results, it's because I'm looking at, what's working, what's not working, how much I've lost. If I'm, losing every single Tuesday, like what's going on Tuesday that's causing me to lose. There's just something about getting out of your small picture to create a bigger picture. And it's awesome. Like I have a calendar from last year too. 2018 was the year that I decided I'm gonna start being a professional. I'm gonna treat DFS like, I'm gonna try to make money at DFS like it's the only thing I've got. And so I have a calendar from last year, and I can't wait to get to the end of this year and compare my calendar from last year and how I went. And as we change in seasons and sports, there's some things that I'm seeing now. It's like, wait a second, like this happened last year also. what am I identifying here? It's like, oh, okay, like I'm picking this nugget or that nugget, or you know what? It's a transitionary time in basketball after the All-Star break. You know, their teams are changing their rotations, and you know the younger guys are starting to get more time. So like we need to be aware of what's changing on our calendars. It helps to keep a calendar. So let's walk through how January went. January was fun. Like, look at all this red. Like, this is a snapshot. Like, a couple of 4-figure wins here, but red, 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 red. Like, red was my favorite color this month. Like, it's 2019. I had an awesome 2018, and I'm like, dude, this is my year. Like, you know, like Kanye says, this year gonna be my year. Every year gonna be my year. Like, that's how I felt about 2019, and I ate a bag of you know what the whole time. You know, I joke around on Twitter, the bag of poop emoji, a plate of poop emoji. Like, that's what January was for me. But you know what? Like, it only takes one. Boom. There it was on the 26th. I've shared this screenshot with you guys. I cashed in a bunch of satellite tickets and a bunch of crowns to play in that $44 NBA tournament. Again, it's not the tournament that I normally play in, but you know, I'm taking my own advice, and I took second place. I took second place in this contest on the back of CJ McCollum, who I never liked playing, and I'll never say a bad thing about CJ McCollum ever again because he took care of me that day. $5,000. Wiped out pretty much any loss that I had that month. And then, you know, again, we want to get our blinders off and look at the big picture. And here's the totality of January and how it went. So tons of red, a couple of encouraging days. But just look at how this, you know, we go left to right through the weeks. Like, look at all of this losing that I did. And I remember here on the 20th, the 21st, even though that's not that much money, it doesn't even count so much. Like, I was so happy to have like back-to-back winning days. Like, I didn't have a back-to-back winning day since 2018. It took me all month. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is supposed to be my year, and I'm just losing every day. I'm just shoving off all my stacks of money, and then I lost again, and then boom, 3-day heater. And, you know, I ended the month again losing 4 days in a row. Like, when I'm trying to show you guys when you're losing, you know, often, like I do too. Like, I can't speak for these guys that never lose. Like, that would be great to never lose, to have a magic ball and to never lose playing DFS, but that's not my reality. And despite all of this red, because I hung in the pocket, I fought through the adversity, I fought through the downswing, I had a big old pop. And it's funny, you take out this day and look how crappy my month is, but able to eke out a nice profit to end January. So that's what my calendar does for me. And so let's take a look at my victories journal. So this is my victories journal. I got this as a Christmas present from my wife. All the pups on here, and this is my victory journal, and we're going to open up to a page in the journal. So if you go back, this is January 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Let's look at our calendar. Not a whole lot of stuff going on here, especially on the 22nd and the 23rd, but I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to be my own cheerleader. I'm trying to, you know, just anything that I can think about, hey, you know what positive can I churn out of this downswing? Am I learning something? Am I seeing something? So you look at some of the stuff, it's like, you know, I made a new connection. I made a new friend. You know, I had a profitable night. I got some rest. Like, if you need to hang on to any little victory you can, like, do it. Like, that, you don't understand, like, you know, how much positivity can beget more positivity and get you out of it. Like, there's so much of DFS is mental, and you know, encouraging ourselves is one thing that we can do. You know, further flipping through, you know, learning from, you know, be your own cheerleader. Learning from the downswing, gaining confidence. So these are, you know, some of the things that I'm trying to think about what I learned, and then every downswing I run into, I always go back and I look about what did I learn, what good came from this downswing. I don't want to waste this. I don't want to be one of these guys that doesn't appreciate how good they have it, and I don't want to appreciate what adversity taught me in my life. So I will always write down, even if it's like I got extra sleep, something stupid, I had a great meal. It doesn't matter. We're putting positive stuff in this journal to feed off of, because what's going to happen is we're going to run into another downswing. And the reason we keep a calendar and the reason that we keep a victory journal, recall past victories. So the next downswing that I have, I'm going to open up this calendar. I'm going to read what I just showed you guys. Then I'm going to go to this page right here, the biggest DFS day of my career. Glory to God, praise Jesus, you know, powered through the Holy Spirit. Like, you know, I don't care how that sounds to you guys. I really don't care. But it works for me, and I'm not afraid of, you know, sharing this stuff with you guys. If you guys think it's dumb and you don't want to watch my videos anymore, or like, dude, I just got this email from SaberSim, like, who is this guy? I don't want to go to church. Like, you're not at church. I'm just trying to show you guys what a regular guy who works an 80-hour-a-week job that he hated does to stay afloat in this thing. So, did I put this in here twice? Whoops. Double the pleasure, double your fun. Double mint gum. Here's another thing. Remind my problems of how great my God is. I don't know if you guys are doing this, and you don't have to. You don't have to do like. But this is like one of my favorite Bible verses. The Lord your God is in your midst, a victorious warrior. He will exalt over you with joy. He will be quiet in his love. He will rejoice over you with shouts of joy. Like I use my reminders app, and I've got positive things circling throughout the day and reminding myself and reminding myself and reminding myself. Like this one will pop up again at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock before I'm about to build lineups. And it's like I feel like I'm building lineups with like God over my shoulder. He's a victorious warrior in my midst. Like people always like, dude, JG, like how can you stay so confident? It's like because I know like what I'm going to war with. Like I know what I'm going to battle with. And I'm not trying to demean like real wars, real battles. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm talking about the battle in my mind. Like, I know, like, I'm meeting this stuff head on. I might have lost yesterday. I might have lost the last week, but I'm a winner. Like, God is fighting on my behalf. Like, dude, I'm ready to take down any adversity that's coming my way because it's going to make me a better player. So that's how I apply the things that we talked about in overcoming it. And again, like, what I'm trying to help you guys is, like, you know, the champ himself, Mike Tyson, confidence breeds success. Success breeds confidence. Confidence applied properly surpasses genius. And that's what I tell you guys all the time. Like, I'm not the smartest guy to play this game, but I just am getting a little bit more confident, a little bit more confident, a little bit more confident. And when there's these guys behind the scenes, like trying to find that perfect little formula, and I do my simple crap that people make fun of me over, and I rake and they lose, it's like, don't listen to me. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to continue to do my thing, and the more confidence I have, the more success it'll bring, and it works both ways. So, appreciate the champ. We'll dap him up for that. You know, thanks, Mike. And let's come back to our 5 stones. So we mentioned in the earlier segment we're going to come back to the 5 stones. And David basically says, I can't wear this armor. And he chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in the pouch of his shepherd's bag. So the reason I tell you guys that is because if we go back and we read some of the analysis of, you know, this story in the Bible, you know, David encounters 4 giants later in the next chapter of Samuel. And we weren't there on the scene, so we don't know if David knew about Goliath's brothers, but he was there and he's asking questions. And, you know, the Bible doesn't include every little detail that was there the day of the battle. But some of the speculation is that David chose 5 stones because Goliath had 4 brothers. If that's not confidence, like, I don't know what is. Like, and that's what we need to have. Like, we need to get our smooth stones, and we got to start telling these Goliaths of DFS like who the boss is. You know, David may not have known that he had 4 brothers. He might have just getting prepared in case he missed, and that's cool. Like, I lose a lot in DFS, but I'm going to keep firing. I'm going to keep firing. I'm going to keep firing. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to take out these giants. And we don't know how many stones that we're going to need. But, you know, hopefully what we've covered today is enough to help you battle, you know, not just DFS, but slay the giants in your life. So I hope this resonated with you guys. Some of you guys have really been struggling. I know June's been a real tough month for baseball. I hope this struck a chord with you guys. And we just need to keep chipping away. You know, this is the statue of David. Arguably, it's one of the greatest masterpieces, artwork in all of human civilization. It's probably definitely one of the most famous. And Michelangelo carved this out of a piece of marble that was actually discarded, I believe, from like a construction project. And he basically said, I saw the angel in the marble and I carved until I set him free. And basically saying like, David was already in this imperfect thing and I just kept chipping away that wasn't there. And in our coachings, like we're always talking about that. Like the simplest thing that you can do is just chip away at what doesn't belong, at making you a successful, profitable player. And you're going to get to where you want to be. We're going to get to where we want to be. So I appreciate you guys. I know we went deep. I know we probably talked about some stuff that was uncomfortable. I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm just trying to challenge you guys, make you better players. Be like my boy Paul George, Fresno State. Go Dogs. Thank you for watching. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at SwimJG. Email me alldayjg.com. Thank you, everybody that stopped by. I hope this struck a chord, and I hope this got to the people that really needed it the most, because that's what I'm here for. If I can change lives through DFS, doesn't get any better than that, guys. See you guys next week.